the fusion of sounds from all the genres that have developed from gospel music that keep on allowing music to evolve from generation to generation.
The last we heard from police, that man is at the Regional 1 Medical Center in critical condition. This 7-year-old girl has turned a tragic time in her life into something beautiful.
Michael Mahan is only 11 years old. His parents say he runs away all the time, but he's never stayed away this long. And now, if you're one of the many who's expecting to come down here to the Horseshoe Casino's first full weekend, you can expect to wait in long lines. Now, earlier in the week, they were only allowing 5,000 people to come in at one time, but they say they're going to relax that rule. Now, I can tell you, this is not going to be the only place that's jumping this weekend.
Shay Harris was there, and what fire crews showed her could save your life.
Trust me, I got you.
Cleveland City Council President Martin Sweetie made it through this mock burn set up by the Cleveland Fire Department. He anxiously struggled to loosen his headgear to breathe fresh air coming out.
That was no joke, guys.
Smoke bellows from the escape door as crew after crew went inside this burning structure to feel what firefighters go through in a real fire scenario. My vital signs were checked, then I suited up in fire gear and joined other local media and city workers going through the exercise. I marched up the stairs to help carry the line.
There it is, you made it.
I completed the task, but not without realizing just how difficult a fireman's job really is. Even though this is a drill, the smoke and fire is real, as was the anxiety and fear that I felt. I was glad when it was over.
Oh, wow. It's surreal. It's surreal. I mean, and that was nothing compared to what they do.
Cleveland fire officials say inviting the media gives the public a real look at what a person could experience in a fire. They hope our reactions to this mock fire will show how important it is to have smoke detectors as a first line of defense and an escape plan.
When we're explaining to the general public how dark, how hot it'll get, you have a thought process of what you need to do, but until you experience it live, you really have no clue.
On your side, in Cleveland, Shay Harris, News Channel 5.
Well, Ursula, hopefully I can get through this without tears myself. All I can say is real love never dies. It finds a way to survive even through cancer.
He asked me a long time ago, but I said no.
Why did you say no to him?
I don't know.
Annie had said no to marriage to her life partner Charles Nicholson for 28 years, but this time she just couldn't say no.
He had been so good to me all them years and stuff, so he asked me again, and I said yeah.
Charles says he knew years ago that Annie was the one for him. He's been by her side since.
Because we done been together so long, it don't even feel right not being with her.
Annie was diagnosed with cervical cancer 5 months ago.
It's been terrible. It's been good days and been bad days.
To me, it was a once-in-a-lifetime thing. I haven't seen anything like this happen in my career.
RN head nurse Brittany Goolsby and her staff worked to pull this wedding together with flowers, a chaplain, and a cake before Annie left Baptist Memorial for a rehab center. The event had such an effect on her that days later, they say she was sitting up on her bedside exercising.
I don't know, I just was so happy. I feel so good.
No, you can't put no scale on how hard it's been, you know, but the thing is, you know, I'm here for her because I know she'll be here for me. Yep, this is the love of my life.
Now, Charles has literally been by Annie's side since she moved into this transitional health care facility in Water Valley. He says he still has hope, but he'll be there no matter what happens.
And I'm Shay Harris. Turning to our top story, more details this morning. Authorities in South Carolina are trying to figure out what led to a tragic school shooting in a rural town. The gunman, a teenager, first shot and killed his own father before going to an elementary school 100 miles northeast of Atlanta, where he shot a teacher and 2 students. Congress will avoid a government shutdown, at least for now. The bill Congress passed Wednesday only funds federal agencies through December 9th. Agencies were looking at a shutdown on tomorrow if the bill had not passed. The continuing resolution gets lawmakers through the presidential election without a potentially embarrassing government shutdown. Now, the resolution passed both the House and Senate with broad support. It also approves federal money for the fight against the Zika virus and for the lead-contaminated water crisis in Flint, Michigan. Hillary Clinton is trying to build on her widely praised debate performance by making a direct appeal to younger voters. Clinton campaigned in New Hampshire with Bernie Sanders on Wednesday. It's their first joint campaign appearance since their unity rally after Sanders endorsed Clinton. She struggled to win over young voters whose enthusiasm drove his primary campaign. Clinton's campaign is also dispatching Michelle Obama to campaign for her in Pennsylvania. The First Lady has been one of the most effective campaigners for Democrats this year.
Well, still to come on News 3 this morning, you know that paying for college tuition is very costly, but do you know what could be even more expensive?
Well, parents, you just might find the answer surprising, and we'll have that answer coming up for you in 2 minutes.
As presidential hopefuls Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump race towards the finish line, they're focusing their efforts on the key state of Florida today. And Bluebell issues yet another ice cream recall. We'll tell you what flavors and why. You're taking a live look at the Phoenix City Amphitheater. Time now, 6:01 on this Tuesday morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3 this morning. I'm Shay Harris. Christina Prevet has the day off. In our top story this morning, Columbus police are investigating a shooting. We are waiting to confirm details with police as they are limited at this time. Now, a witness told News 3 last night that the shooting happened at 28th Street and Jones Avenue just before 10. The witness says 4 shots were fired at the time of the shooting. They say the victim ran into her home after being shot. The man was later transported to the hospital. Now, we are working to learn his condition this morning. Meanwhile, Bluebell is recalling all of its ice cream products that contain cookie dough supplied from Iowa-based supplier Aspen Hills. The recall was announced Monday night. Aspen Hills actually recalled cookie dough supplied to ice cream makers because of the potential of Listeria bacteria contamination. The Bluebell recall involves half gallons and pints of chocolate chip cookie dough, cookie two-step, and it also includes 3-gallon packages of Blue Monster, Bluebell chocolate chip cookie, and Crazy cookie dough. Now, the products were made between February 2nd and September 7th. The affected products were distributed in both Georgia and Alabama, plus several other states. All right, thank you, Kurt. The murder trial of a man accused of leaving his 22-month-old son in a hot SUV to die is expected to resume this morning. Now, Hurricane Matthew caused the trial of Justin Ross Harris to be put on hold in Brunswick, Georgia. The court wanted to give jurors and everyone living in the Brunswick area a chance to assess their homes for damage after Matthew passed through. Prosecutors say Harris intentionally killed his son Cooper by leaving him for hours in a hot vehicle. And Cooper's lawyers, however, maintain the death was accidental. In campaign 2016 this morning, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump focused their efforts in the key state of Florida today, a day after hitting the campaign trail in Ohio, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Hannah Daniels tells us a new national poll conducted before Sunday's second presidential debate has Clinton leading Trump by 11 points nationally. And Clinton campaigns in the Sunshine State with Al Gore today. A judge ruled Monday to extend the state's voter registration deadline to tomorrow due to Hurricane Matthew. And a new study reveals that some high blood pressure medications could result in a greater chance for depression. The research found that people taking beta blockers or calcium channel antagonists double their risk of being hospitalized for depression or other mood disorders. By comparison, those taking ACE inhibitors had a lower risk of developing such disorders. But they also say it builds the case of linking mental health to treating heart patients and others with blood pressure issues. This study was published in the journal Hypertension. And Hurricane Matthew could put a temporary halt on the mosquitoes that spread the Zika virus. Initially, after a big storm, there can be a decrease in all mosquitoes. That's because adult mosquitoes, including those that carry the Zika virus, get washed away by heavy rains. Plus, heavy rains and flooding also wash larvae away from mosquito breeding sites,
places like tires, bird baths, and flower pots that can have a beneficial effect on Zika transmission. But mosquitoes do return. Individuals can become the target of a hungry mosquito, and that transmission cycle could start all over again. Well, if you are the proud new owner of the Samsung Galaxy Note 7 phone, turn it off. The makers of the phone say the device is dangerous. We'll have the latest details. But first, here's that beautiful shot you love to look at in the morning. Toomer's Corner, Auburn University. Good morning, everyone. 6:08. We'll be right back.
You're going to need a jacket out there. Even if you have a light jacket this morning, you'll toss it away like before noon because it's going to be rather warm.
It's always like that this time of year. All right, thank you,
You're
Cody.
welcome.
Well, it's a dream come true. One Red Sox fan gets his own field of dreams right in his own backyard. That's thanks to some of the team's players. Now, we'll show you more on this heartwarming story when we come back. But first, let's take a look at your winning lottery numbers. You're watching Newsfeed This Morning on your official Georgia Lottery station. Hiroshi Mitsuyama, chairman of Mitsuyama Technologies, was killed while on a corporate retreat. According to a spokesman, some kind of wild animal attack is suspected, though details are sketchy. Mitsuyama had been the lone holdout of the company's senior management regarding a possible sale to Dreyfus Enterprises, which is now expected to go through.